and welcome to this special edition of Mortgage Fraud Crusader. Today, we're going to expose the documents that you've all been waiting for. So, the first slide that you see here is the realist report. I had a real estate agent investigate why I was taken off the deed and title of the house. And this email shows that I was taken off illegally. And she showed it with the realist report. That's the next slide. Okay, the next slide that you see is a picture of a photocopy of the warranty deed, which shows how I was taken off the deed and title. Okay, if you'll notice the following document, there is a discrepancy here. Okay, you'll see my signature, which was pasted on there, and the typewriter that shows my name was put in a different typewriter than my ex was. Okay, and the deputy clerk accepted this fax as the real document. So that is illegal, first of all. She wasn't supposed to accept documents that are photocopied. And then obviously when you look at it, you can tell it's a forged copy by the typewriter. So she did a very illegal thing. Can I go after the county clerk personally and civilly if I knew if she knew they were photocopies and put in different typewriters and recorded them anyway? That resulted in taking me off the deed and title without my knowledge? Yes, you might be able to pursue a civil lawsuit against the county clerk personally, but it'll be very difficult and depends on several key factors. Government immunity. County clerks as government officials are usually protected by qualified immunity in federal cases or sovereign immunity in state cases when acting in their official capacity. This means that if the clerk was performing duties within her job, even negligent, I have a hard time with that word. She may be immune from personal lawsuits, exception. If you can prove she acted outside the scope of her duties, knowingly participated in fraud, or engaged in intentional misconduct, she may lose that immunity. Proof of intent or knowledge. You need strong evidence that the clerk knew the documents were forged or altered. In other words, knew they were photocopies or tampered with, knew it would wrongfully affect your property rights, and intentionally recorded them anyway. Mere negligence and failing to spot a forgery is typically not enough for personal liability. Civil causes of action. If you have strong evidence, possible civil claims could include fraud if she knowingly facilitated it, conspiracy to commit fraud, working with others, depriving you of your property rights under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, a federal claim but hard to win, negligent or intentional infliction or emotional distress if you can prove harm. You may have a claim against the county or title company. You might be able to initiate criminal complaint if you suspect misconduct. If I was taken off the deed of my house without my knowledge in 2003, can I get my house back? Yes, you may be able to get your house back if you were removed from the deed without your knowledge or consent, especially if it was done fraudulently. Here are the key steps and factors involved. Was it fraud? If your name was removed without your signature or valid power of attorney or your notarized consent, then it is likely the deed was forged or fraudulent, which is illegal. The statute of limitations. Even though this happened in 2003, many states allow you to challenge fraudulent deeds at any time because fraud has no statute of limitations in certain civil matters, especially if you only recently discovered it. What a court can do, a judge can invalidate the fraudulent deed, restore your ownership rights, award damages if you're suffered losses. Can I go after the county clerk who deliberately accepted the fraudulent documents that were photocopies and put in part in the county records? Yes, you may have a valid legal claim against the county clerk or their office if you can prove deliberate misconduct, but it's a hard bar to clear. Here's how it breaks down. What you need to prove: take action against the county clerk for their office. You would need strong evidence they acted with intentional misconduct or gross negligence, not just an error or oversight. Specifically, you'll need to show that they knew the documents were fraudulent or invalid, a photocopy without proper notarization or signatures, deliberately accepted and filed them anyway. Challenges you may face: county clerks often have limited liability under state law performing their official duties. Most are protected unless they willfully violated the law. Possible legal options. If you have evidence or willful misconduct, here are possible legal paths. Civil suit for negligence or misconducts. You can sue the county clerk's office, not always the individual, for damages under state law. This depends on Texas laws regarding government employee immunity. Criminal complaint. If you have proof the county clerk knowingly accepted fraudulent documents, you can report to the Texas Attorney General and file civil rights claim 42 U.S.C. 1983. I've already filed. I reported it to the Texas Attorney General. If your constitutional rights were violated, in other words, lawful deprivation of your property, you could file a federal claim. You'll need to prove the clerk was acting under color of law and knowingly participated in the deprivation. Documentation you need: move forward the filed fraudulent documents, which you can see right here. Evidence showing that they were not originals, improperly notarized, or otherwise invalid. Proof the county clerk's office should have known, in other words, no notary stamp or obvious photocopy, missing pages, a timeline showing your lack of knowledge. Is it legal to file in Texas photocopy documents at the county clerk's office in Texas? It is not legal to file photocopied property records like deeds, liens, releases of lien at a county clerk's office unless they meet strict requirements. For a document to be legally recorded, it must follow the Texas Property Code rules. Key requirements for recording documents in Texas. According to the Texas Property Code, statute 12.001 and local county clerk guidelines, a document must be an original or certified copy. Photocopies are not acceptable unless they're certified by a notary, attorney, or court. The document must contain original signatures not copies. They got to be notarized. A valid notary seal and signature are required. A document without proper notarization cannot be recorded. To be legible and properly formatted, counties require specific margin size, font size, and layout. Some counties reject documents that don't meet formatting standards. If a clerk accepts a photocopy, if a county clerk knowingly or negligent accepts and records a photocopied or fraudulent document, this could be a violation of the Texas Property Code, grounds for legal challenge to the recorded document, possible civil liability, or administrative complaint against the clerk's office. And I already filed a complaint with the Texas Attorney General's office for fraud. So that concludes this podcast. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. And also, if you'd like to contribute, a donation to help my legal fund, I'd really appreciate that. You can use my Cash App, which is $telemarkman1, and that's my Cash App. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching. So, this last document says she's a single woman. So, on the same document, how can you be a married woman and a single woman in the same document? Obviously, the county clerk overlooked that or was very, very negligent and also helped this woman commit this fraud. So I blame the county clerk's office as the author of how my ex was able to get a fraudulent loan for $300,000 to get a vacation home up in Homer, Alaska. Now, if you'd like to, please subscribe to my channel. And also, if you'd like to, please send a donation to my Cash App, which you see posted here. I'll be showing more documents in my next podcast. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.